Because in order for you to see it, you have to think about it. In order for you to see it, you have to believe it in your mind, right? So you run around manifesting all day. People don't understand that.
Facts.
Listen, I'm just keeping it real. Life is a manifestation,
Facts.
right? I just know that for a fact. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think that it's getting done to them when they doing it to themselves.
Mm.
So I don't be giving a fuck people.
So most people just get lazy in the mind. Is that
Huh?
is because most people just get lazy in the mind?
Let me tell you this, right? A lot of people think that if I go right here and I do this, right, this got something to do with my leg strength. When it don't. It got nothing to do with my leg strength. It got something to do with my mind strength, right? Because listen,
Mm.
my mind is controlling my legs and telling it that it's tired and telling it that it's not. So if I got a strong mind, I can squat as many times as I want because it ain't about my leg power. But that's where everybody get it confused. Everybody think that the power is coming from the biceps and the triceps, right? But it's coming from the mental. Time, right? And time is a crazy question. But like I was saying, the summarize, right? They the first one recorded time in 300 BCE, right? And they time a little different than our time is today, right? But after that, it was another kind of time recorded, right? And this is a time of, I guess, a different kind of creation. This creation was creation of Adam and Eve. But this question, how could a different creation happen again? How can creation happen twice? I'm confused, right? How can happen twice? But this goes to show you that they will change stuff right in front of your face and they act like it never happened, right? This one of them things to where you look at it and you see that maybe everything that I'm saying is crazy. Maybe they didn't record times. Maybe what they recorded in the clay we misunderstood. I don't know. You think like people get misunderstood shit like that, or you think they're like we've been really tricked, like time has really been changed. What do you think?
I think just certain groups of leaders just have their own type of creation story.
Right.
The for people to make sense so they can remain in power.
Right. But this story showed up in the Hebrew text around 1000 BCE, right? The first one was in 300 BCE, and this one come up in 1000 BCE. You think they think everybody's stupid in the world, right?
Facts.
1000 BCE come back now. There's a different type of time. This type of time got Adam and Eve, and they talking about the apple. They're talking about the snake. They're talking about the Garden of Eden. They're talking about all of this, right? And that kind of like really messed me up, right? Because I didn't understand the time, right? But this is what I like to say, right? In that time they had 13 months. If you're watching it, they had 13 months in that time, right? They took away a month, right? So now we got 12 months. So if them calculations are true, that means we down about 130 years there, right? And then history, right? Here's the thing about history, right? They said a lot of things in history have been stolen, hidden, duplicated, or whatever you want to call it, right? So
Facts.
they come through and then they stole 250 years of history, completely changed it. I mean, like completely changed stories of what happened. How and why would they do something like that?
Again, I believe it's power. So like when it comes like we're surrounded by ancient Kemet. Like it
Right.
depends on when you look in history, if it's called Kemet, then it turned to Egypt. Depends on a scholar would know that. But they don't want people. I was always told the melanated people are from Egypt, and if you knew that they was digging up your ancestors' graves, that's illegal. Go dig up a white person's grave. You're gonna get charged with it.
Right.
So everything is power. They studied your ancestors, so they had to change
Right.
time.
Well, I believe about what studying. If you ever went to a school in the city, they always came and took your blood and they studied your blood. But in the suburban schools, they didn't do that, right? They kind of
Wow.
like tested your blood there because again,
Wow,
they
they don't
study
do that in
must
suburban schools?
nah, the study must
Wow.
continue, right?
Wow.
Listen, and it's kind of crazy. So time has been a thing to where they have like changed it. So we already know we're missing a lot of time. So if we're missing all of that time, that means it's actually not 2000 and what was it 2026? What year is this?
2026.
It ain't 2026. It's 1646. A
I
lot of
mean,
people don't understand that. It's
I mean, I
1646.
mean, even the Ethiopians they go by 13 months.
Right.
You know, months derives from month, the
Right.
moon. So it's supposed to go with the lunar cycles.
Right. And that's what they do. And they're supposed to go in a cycle, in a circle, and
Right,
they
the
supposed to
cycle.
start and stop, and start and stop. Here's my thing. If a season over, why is it cold? It's a season, the season's just kind of like starting, right? So it can't be like a cycle. A cycle can't be over because like it's the same thing.
I like that you said seasons too because that's how I look at life.
Right.
It's through seasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got like we were just talking about business off the camera. Like there's times where business is good, there's times where business is not good. That's the season. It's called a
Right.
financial forecast.
Right.
And that's the same thing in our lives. We have our ups, we have our downs.
Right. And what people do, I think what people do, they kind of like disconnect because they kind of separate everything. When everything is kind of interconnected, everything is kind of like one, right? But what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take questions. And these are questions from like regular people, average people. They got questions about what we say. Cause they like basically like everything we saying is frivolous. It don't really matter. Time, like what the fuck it matter if they took some time? What does that matter? Right? But I think it matter with your health, with your mental stability, with just your life altogether, right? That's what I believe, right? But a lot of people may not think that, right? A lot of people probably think that taking away time don't do nothing to them. Do you think got any effects? Taking away time got any effects in the people and shit
Yeah,
like that?
because you know the moon, the lunar cycles affect people. Period, just like it affects the tides of the ocean.
Right.
So yes, time, seasons, everything has an effect on the human body. There's a time to plant your seed. There's a time to pull your crop.
Right.
You know, so that goes off seasons to me.
Right. Yeah, everything goes season and everything have its moment in life. You ever notice that when you do something, sometimes you do it better and other times you do it worse. But you gotta understand this. You ain't doing it better or worse by accident or by flaw. It's kind of like you better at worse at different times of what? Of the year. Right? Y'all people don't understand that. Y'all don't know what that means, but you gotta understand when time your power was actually enlightened. But right now we're gonna take these questions
Let's go.
from
Let's go.
these everyday normal people.
Let's go.
Yeah, what's the first question?
Okay. One of the first questions that's on people's minds today is that is time dimensional? Is it subjective? Is it objective? What is time?
What do you mean by that? Because everyday people don't speak like you just spoke.
Well, most people think
But they don't speak like that. The words you just said, they don't even speak like. So what do you talk about? Them everyday people, them your thoughts. It's like a professor thoughts. Now I'm keeping it real. Everyday people don't speak like that. So what you saying? What is time? Time is illusion. All right, listen. If I'm gonna say this right, time came to track what? What time carry? Time carry the cycle. Time carry life. Time carry life. Time carry death. How do you tell whether somebody alive or whether they dead?
Mm.
How can you tell? How can you tell anything if it wasn't for time? Is time a gift or is a curse? Right? I'm gonna say this. Time don't exist nowhere else but on earth. It's the only place time exists. The only place that time exists. Listen, the only time you gotta worry about time is when you're in prison. Right? It's the only time time really means something when you're in prison. We in prison. It's a prison planet.
And then it goes back to the word. In the beginning was the word was God. They give you a sentence.
Right. Right. We in jail. What you mean? What is time? You ain't making sense. Make some sense of it. What is time? Time is an illusion, but time is real. Let me tell you something, right? What you finna say? So what you finna say?
if time is an illusion, it's just an illusion, then how do we perceive it as something that's real just because we put ourselves in a position where we have to wait for something?
Because your
we have to
mind,
anticipate
your
for
mind. Listen, your mind tell you what everything is in this reality, right? Listen,
Right.
this reality is controlled by your mind. Whatever you think show up. The moment they showed you it was
Right.
time, time came to existence.
It's-
But before someone said it was time, was there ever time? No. Right? So let me tell you something. What you about to say? You about to ask another stupid question? Time was brought to existence. I just told you that somebody told somebody about time.
Right.
So at that point, time was existed. Before then, there was no time. So it's still not no time.
Can I ask something? If time was real, they wouldn't have to put it in front of your face all the time. There's clocks everywhere. It's right on your phone. If it's real, I don't have to remind you that it's wintertime.
Right. Right. So what I'm saying that this time is one of the things like this, right? Time is not in a straight line. They want you to believe that time is a straight line, but that means some have a start and then some have an ending, right? Time don't work that way. Nothing in the universe moves in a straight line. Everything in the universe moves like this, but everything is connected by one thing, right? So the universe is kind of different, right? So that's what I'm trying to say, right? Just elaborate more on time, right? So when you look at time, right, and you kind of really grasp on time, what are you actually trying to do? You're trying to keep track of something. You're trying to record something. You're trying to record something. But the infinite, the creator, what do you need time for? Right? So did he create time? No. No, he didn't. Because if he created time, then it'll be an ending in the beginning. It'll be a time in hereafter, right? But time is connected. in one. The past and the present is all connected in one.
Do you think time holds to memory?
Let me say one thing to you. Let me speak, because I see like I'm speaking and I see your lips moving. So let me speak before you have another question to ask, right? So you can't never hear me. That's what people do, right? They don't listen for the answer, they listen to talk. You listening to talk right now. So when you listen, there you go again, right? Your mouth steady about to move. Why? That's the problem with the world. Everybody in the world, they listen to talk, right? You should listen to get the information that you're asking for. But people don't want information for real. Everybody just want to fucking talk, right? So ask your question again, because just like normal people, I forgot what you said because the mind is not trained to remember. So what the did you just say?
Do you think time is tied to memory?
Listen, let me tell you something. You got two kind of memories, right? You got the memory in your mind, you got muscle memories. Let me ask you a question. Do you got to remember to walk? Do you got to remember to walk?
No.
Do you got to remember to breathe?
No.
Right. But you got to hold on to memories, because in your brain got different spots to do different things. The memories as recorded right here. Here's the thing that people don't know. Your present memory and your future thoughts is connected in one little part of your brain. Right? So when memory, your mind is not supposed to remember. Why you think this, right? If you tell him something right now, he go tell somebody else, it's gonna be totally different. Right. You're looking crazy, but I'm telling the truth. Your mind not made to remember. See, everybody think that mind is made to remember, but it's not. That's why people run around not remembering shit. I'll keep it real, gang.
Right.
Listen, when the last time somebody told you the truth, right? But it was a lie. Because they thought they were telling you the truth, but the whole time they're telling you a story that's made up and they mind.
That's right.
But they believed in their heart that it was the truth.
Right.
Listen, gang, don't tell me nothing about mind and time. It's all illusion, and don't ask me nothing about that.
The time is always now. What time is it now?
Right.
It's always now.
Right.
That's what Don's there for. Decide on now. So now creates tomorrow.
Right.
Is time connected to choices?
It's time connected. Listen, let me tell you this right there. Everything in the world is interconnected, right? So everything's connected to everything, right? Once you took the choice to believe in time, then time is connected to choices, you dumb bitch. I'm just keeping it real, right? You gotta make it make sense. You asking crazy questions that don't make sense. Come on, make it make sense. How don't it make sense? Come on.
Time's man-made.
It's man-made.
Right.
So it gotta be connected to choices, because you chose to believe in time. Listen, anybody in the world right now that's choosing to believe in time, they choosing to be controlled. Right? Listen,
Fact.
let me tell you what time do.
Fact.
Time automatically make you die. You know why? Because they tell you that at the age of 40, you have these symptoms. They got a life expectancy. Why did they got a life expectancy for? Because they want you to know when you want to die. Right? They want you to know this. They train you to die. They train your mind to die before
That's
it's
deep.
time.
That's fact.
Come on, can't stop playing with me.
That's deep.
So do you think time is multidimensional?
That's the best question you can ask, right? Listen, it's only time in this dimension. See, people say that though,
That's
but people
it.
don't understand. It's
That's
only
it.
time in this dimension. This is the only place where we even think time, right? We invented time. Listen, time was an invention, right? And it was an invention that was made to control people to do a whole lot of work that we didn't want to do, but they had to find a way to make sure we're doing it most of the day. The only way they can do that is invent time, right? To keep track of our ass, right? Listen, they don't go by time over there. Where the f they come from? Ain't no time.
And it's in a box. Anytime you see it's in a box, that means it's dead.
Right,
There's no such thing as time.
right.
Period. If y'all follow the Bible, it says God made 6 days and rest on the seventh. So I don't even know what this 365 shit is.
Right.
It's Sunday through Saturday on repeat. And what's insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
Right.
We already know Saturday is for Saturn, Sunday's for the sun, Monday's for the moon, Tuesday is what for Venus, Wednesday's for Mars, the god of war, Thursday's for Thor, Friday, it's the planets, as above, so below. They're giving thanks to the planets.
Right. And that's the thing with time. And I think it's about time for you to ask another question. And I'm keeping it real, gang. Come on, it's about time for that.
Okay. So, do people use emotions? Sorry. Do people use emotions such as fear, happiness, and things of that nature in regards to time?
Let me tell you something. You can tell for a fact he didn't write these questions because the way he's saying them and the way proper. You hear this man talk all day, right? You hear him talk all the time. He never talks like this. So that's what I'm saying. When you tell people to be ready to be prepared, they never do because they don't have enough what? Enough time. right? Because everybody's rushing against time, but me, I like to use time as my advantage, right? Listen, if you plan ahead of time, you take your time, use the time as your advantage. That every time you try to do things on the spot, you rushing against time, right? Listen, to survive against time, you gotta use time as your advantage, right? Because you know everybody else racing against time. Everybody waiting to the last minute, right? Listen, let me ask you this. Even on Christmas, everybody wait to New Year's to get everybody something. They ain't supposed to be doing shit for Christmas anyway, because Christmas don't really exist, right? I'm just keeping it real, right? But listen, I'm just gonna say this, right? Emotions are not made to use, right? They're not made to use the way people use them. Emotions are made to manifest, right? But
Facts.
it's kind of like don't get half your own supply, right? Listen, I sell the crack, why the fuck am I smoking it, right? But just like everybody else, we get addicted to what? Our drugs. So we get addicted to what? Our emotions, right? And our emotions is kind of like this, right? They are gifts, right? And they're gifts that we supposed to use to bring things to this reality, right? Because there's 3 steps that bring things to the reality, right? One of the things is our emotions, the other is our thoughts, and the other one is what we say, right? So them things together combined will bring things into reality. So if that answered your question, if it didn't, then you let me know.
The feeling always wins.
Yeah. Did that answer your question, Mr. Interviewer?
Yes.
Come on. What's the next question?
Well, people today use things such as psychedelic drugs and all kinds of things to put themselves in a state of
What are you talking about? What's the people use psychedelic drugs? Listen, I'm saying this, the first people to use psychedelic drugs are everybody bank with. Chase. Yeah. Let me say something. Let me tell you what they used to do, right? They used to use these drugs. They used to go overseas to these different countries and they call them magic mushrooms. And they come back over here and they write books about it, right? They write shows about it. They create companies while on it.
Facts.
Right? And then by the time I get it, they tell me it's a drug. You know why? Because they took all the good stuff out of it, added it back along with the poison to keep you addicted and tripping, and then they gave it to you. Right? Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. Nothing. I mean nothing. Nothing. There's nothing that the earth put out that you can take that is bad for you that they should have a right to keep away from you. Right? They got a right to keep mushrooms away from you when mushrooms come from the earth. Right? You don't gotta do nothing to it. All you gotta do is take it and then shit happen. Right? I don't know. People just be kind of confused. Listen, everything that's bad is really good. Did you know a germ was really good? Did you know germs was good? No, get real. Did you know germs was good? Listen, I'm gonna say this. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people think germs are bad. Like, okay, germs are bad, but did you know your body was 99% germs? Listen, and do you know them germs determine whether you fat or skinny? Yeah, a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't even understand. They think it's genetics that determine this, but it's all the germs that determine this shit. You know where you get the germs from, nigga? Nigga, you know where you get the germs from?
where do you get it from?
Your mama. Listen, no, listen. No, everybody laughing, but listen. You get the germs. Listen, you get the germs. Look at me and listen to me so you understand what I'm saying. Now, what I'm saying, you get it from your mother. How? Because you inside the vagina with a lot of what? Bacteria. It found a safe place to live where? Inside of you. So when you're born, it still come out, but you get a little bit more from the ass. So when you come out, it's connected. I'm for real, no lie. When you come out the ass right there, and there's more bacteria. But this bacteria find a way to live in your body, and guess where they live at? They become your digestive tract. They eat all the food. They don't want to digest your food. These same germs. So a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people think that germs are just bad. Well, I'm just trying to explain to you something. So you may have questions about the germs. So if you listen to me, you will have questions.
When we develop sicknesses or go through trauma.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What they got to do what I do? What they got to do? See, this what. Listen, the human mind can't do nothing even if you tell it to do it, right? Because listen, let me tell you something. Everybody in the world, they are worried about doing everything on beat, doing everything correctly, right? Life not about doing everything correctly. Life is about doing it how you got to do it when it's time to do it, even with less supplies, right? So everybody get too comfortable, right? But life is about being uncomfortable and making it look like you was comfortable, right? Right now, you making me uncomfortable as shit, right? I want to get up and smack out you, but guess what? That'll make you uncomfortable, right? But I'm just keeping it real, gang. When you ask questions, when you say, make sure you elaborate. Because make sure you go deep on topics and questions. You're not just reading from a paper. That's why I didn't want you to use AI, bro.
You spoke about things such as germs and stuff of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel that when we go through certain things such as sicknesses and stuff like that, that time puts a perspective on the things that we do or how we live and the choices that we make as far as what we do with our bodies and what we don't do and how do we deal with that?
That's all started because of time, right? Let me tell you what I mean, right? So listen, you supposed to have a normal flow. See, I'm trying to tell you to keep this on a flow, right? But we keep on having these ups and downs. That's kind of like what's supposed to happen. I'm gonna tell you what I mean, right? So when you eat certain foods, you do certain things over time, right? Say I eat bread over time, right? It gets stuck places, right? Remember I told you about them germs? Them germs are designed to eat things in your body to digest them properly. But if it got backed up stuff and it can't finish it to eat it, it's gonna stay stacked up in your body. And those things is going to cause what? Diseases. Did the germs cause diseases? No. The germs was trying to help the disease, right? But the germs can eat all the you put in the body because the germs is already in your body. It's more germs in your body than you. I'm keeping it real. But over time it hurts you, right? But you may want to ask the financial literacy guy that he know about that too. You directed all your questions towards me that you got a problem with me. I'm not the smartest person in the room, gang.
Hey Don, you spoke about the things of like the Anunnaki and things of that nature. Um, can you elaborate on why you think that time itself, I should say, is more like a spectrum, you know what I'm saying, than as far as what is as far as real.
Um, like I don't know how the Sumerians did it, but I'm pretty sure it was a sundial of some sort. So everything is deals with light when it comes with time. Everything deals with light, and then the darkness. That's what they're trying to track. A man-made. They're trying to measure light, and that's how I look at it. Everything is just of the light. So if watch the old Western movies, they said, "Meet me at the salon at sundown." It's always dealing with light. We never used clocks back then. Meet me here at high noon. So in the same way with the moon, phases of the moon. They named the moon different things at certain periods of time. You got the wolf moon or the pink moon. It represents certain moments that happened in the universe at a time.
Right.
So it's just capturing light. That's how I look at it.
I like that we speak about the moon and you speak about the lunar cycle because there's another thing, lunatic, right? They said that because the people looked at the moon and then people was kind of like crazy. Listen, I just want to say this. Every time people really look at what was told, we got to understand it's always two sides, right? Good and bad is two sides. I'm asking a question. Would you know what good was if you never felt bad?
No.
Right.
So what's the difference between good and bad? There ain't no difference, but people give it a difference, right? See, people give everything a difference when there ain't no difference when everything is one.
Right.
I know you don't understand that. You ain't smart enough yet. Yeah, I'm just keeping it real, though.
Clearly, I'm not.
Okay.
So
So what?
so why so why put a numerology in front of it? Why put number? What is the purpose of the numbers? If
Good.
if people use elementals such as sunrise, sunset, what's the purpose of the numerology?
Right. That's a great question.
That is a great
That's a
question.
great question because that question come from the normal people probably, right? Because you can come up with a question like that because ain't nothing normal about you. What do we say about numbers? There's no number between 1 through 9. Any number after that is fake. It's flawed. It's not a real number. I'm just keeping it real, right? But people don't understand this. But I just want to say this: if you look at time itself, you look at numbers itself, you look at anything itself, it was all created by the people that need to do what? Trying to track what? Trying to track the sun, trying to track the moon, trying to see where we at, right? Trying to get the coordinates of trying to repeat over because they noticed this. When this happened, this happened. So they recorded it so what? They can remember and do it again.
Facts.
Right? But a lot of times people try to use it for different reasons right now. Right? But a lot of people don't use things for the same reason. Who used the Bible for what it's used for? I mean, I just use the Bible to roll weed out of it. I'm keeping it real, right? When I'm in jail, that's what I use it for, right? So everybody use different things differently.
It took the word.
Yeah. I smoked the paper, the words, and everything.
It took the word literally.
Yeah, I took the word literally. What?
So do you think that time that there is such a thing as a time machine? Do you think that they made a time machine?
Stop. Listen, let me tell you this. Everything that they created, let me tell you this. Everything that they created, they duplicated it from the body. There's a lot of people don't know this. So if it's a time machine, they made it by duplicating the mind, because the real time machine is in your mind. And I can tell you this, I can teach you this. Every time you think about something from your past, you can attach them feelings to it. That's your past feelings coming back at this time, right? You think about the future, right? You can get information to bring it back to this moment and then write it down as a plan. You just went to the future, right? So listen, the only thing you got to worry about is this moment right now, because it's the only one that's real.
Facts.
Right.
So when you say live in that moment, at the end of the day, most people are always worried about what the future is always going to bring. But why is it that they're worried about something that's not there?
Stop. Listen. Let me say this. We got more protection than a prey in the wilderness. When the f do they worry about death? They don't worry about death. They don't worry about it until there's a moment when it's time to come. Listen, we the only ones in the history that worry about the future, because we the only ones living in time.
Facts.
Listen, I don't think you understand this. Nothing else around. My dog is not living in time. My cat is not living in time. The birds is not living in time. What don't you get?
That's facts.
What don't you get? Yeah, I know you don't understand it, but you got to understand it. If time was such a thing, then everything would be living by time.
Everything is cause and effect, ebbs and flows.
Right. So time was created as a prison, and the prison is planet is Earth.
Seasons are just a rhythm.
Right.
Yeah.
So many people believe that when you make a choice, or you have to make a choice, you know what I'm saying, about how you live your life and what the things that you have to do within your life, you have to put certain things into perspective. You know what I'm saying? So when people try to understand certain, I should say, aspects or perspectives of what they should do and what they should not do, do you feel like time is I should say, should time always be the very idea that you put inside your mind just because you make a choice to do something or not to do something?
Listen, man, you just babbling. Listen, the first thing you said, the only thing you said makes sense is choice. And that's what people are not doing. They're not taking or making choices. Listen, there's no way, everybody watch this, I'm gonna tell you this. You cannot be a father and try to be somebody else successful. You cannot be a husband and try to be somebody else successful. You cannot be an employee and try to be a boss. You have to choose one thing in this life, right? The problem is everybody is not making a choice. Everybody living their life on two lines, right? Nobody is stepping full into one way, and that's the problem.
But that's because many people say that you can have many choices.
You can, but one at a time, moment to moment,
That's
right?
it.
Listen, people understand there's a lot of things in the world. That's why everybody's attention span is so short, right? Because there's too many things to choose from. But listen, if you could do everything, if you do everything, one thing at a time, right? The problem is, well, smoke weed, smoke crack, do this and do that. Everybody want to do everything like they're octopus. You only got two hands. Stop playing with me. You gotta make this make sense. But that's the problem. Look, listen. Jesus said everything in the world is good, and it is. But everything can kill you when you take too much. The problem is everybody want too much.
Too much. That's it.
It's a problem.
I'm gonna add to that because we were speaking on when we was on the road, and but your choices now is what's gonna happen in your future.
Right.
Your future, if you believe in the future, you create the future right now. But what everybody know Michael Jordan from what? Basketball, right? Even we talked about his shoe because they were like, he's on the shoe, but he's still at basketball. Michael Jordan's great at many things, but you only know him for basketball, really. Right. So just be great at one thing. That's the only choice you need to make, and you need to make it now.
Right.
And you'll be great at it tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand, right? Listen, people don't think that I can choose one thing and be a great father. But a great father is what? A great role model, right? So if I choose myself and become the best I can be, am I a great father? Yes, because I'm a
That's it.
great role model, right? It don't come with me trying to be there for you and do all this. Just watch me. So I'm on.
So it's also about setting the example.
That is the example. What do you mean? Life, everything. Listen, I don't think you understand what set the first example for people was the animals, right? Listen, you don't even give animals credit. Listen, you don't give nothing in nature credit. But we learn from nature. We learn from watching everything.
Yep.
But when the last time gave credit to the bee? Nobody give a fuck about the bee, right? They gonna the bee, but the bee ain't gonna sting you unless it feel fear coming off you, just telling it you gonna it, so it's gonna hit you first, right? Everything in nature is playing a shield, right? But people come through with shit, and now things in nature want to fuck you up. It's like somebody walk in my house, right? I'm good. Walk in my house, I got my gun, I'm gonna blow you down. That's the same way they feel in the wilderness. That's why I'm on. But let me talk what you talking, because you acting like an animal.
I like that though. So the nature is the divine blueprint of life.
There you go.
Cause like when the birds are flying down south, it's wintertime.
Wintertime.
I think it's a maple tree or a weeping willow. The leaves turn up when it's about to rain.
Right.
So you know what time it is. It's about to rain. That's
Right.
a whole different type of time.
Right. I don't think you understand. Right. It's cycles. But go on, come on. Come on. Come on with the questions from the people. I just want to know what the people want to know. All right. Let's go.
So
what? So what?
stop making me nervous, man.
Why would you be nervous? Why? Listen.
Because
No, retrain your nervous system then. I told you already to breathe. There's no such thing as nervousness, right? Listen, let me tell you why you're nervous. Only time you're nervous in life when you're not prepared. Let me tell you this, right? Once you prepare for something, it makes you no longer nervous, right? You're nervous when you're unprepared, right? If you would have said that a million times and went to the future, you would flow very easy, right? Because it's just like normal conversation, right? We always talk.
Just tap into your
Right? I'm just keeping it real, gang. We always talk. So there's no nervousness, right? What's the next question?
just trying to perform. I'm sorry.
So that's the problem. I told you about people performing. That's why, listen, if you're watching this, that's why I choose not to perform. Because you perform, you got to keep on performing. Let me tell you this, right?
Damn,
If I go
that's deep.
and I do something for you, I got to constantly do that for you for something to pop out. But if I don't perform and then you give me something, then it's good. I don't got to perform for that. I won't perform for money. Listen, I won't lie to protect my life. That's what I'm on. I won't do it. What I'm going to do it for? Right? A lot of people don't really understand what happens here, right? Or what happened when they leave. But they spend too much time worrying about what Billy doing, right? What Jane doing, right? What club popping, right? Nobody is really determined to figure out what the fuck is going on inside their mind. But everybody worried about time. Time. About no time, gang.
Mr. Don. So what do you think? What do you think about? I know you brought up the fact of you also brought up the things with the animals and stuff like that. How they don't believe they don't see time as we see it. They don't see it as the way we see it, as the way we move and things.
Hold
like
up,
that.
they don't even see
So
like
why-
we see. When last time you think they see with their eyes, right? They don't. They see with something totally different. We the only things that see with our eyes. They don't see like we think we see.
Right. So with the way, because most animals use senses, more senses than as so far as just using our basic visual mind, because we have to perceive things in order to comprehend them. In order for us to comprehend something, we have to be able to know inside our brain what it is that we have to see and understand.
No, we got to be already told what it is. Listen, if you wasn't told blue was blue, it'd be red to you. Right? You only know it because you told what it is. Right? You was programmed.
But-
And it happens over time.
But then again, do we really know what blue is? Because we all can't see what each other see.
There you go.
So same way with time, you're program numbers first before you can even comprehend what time is.
Right. So do you think that we understand? Do you think that we understand or comprehend aspects of our senses as so far as
All right.
the things that we the things that we do see and do in regards to time.
I don't know what the you are, bro. What are you asking? You mumbling. You're not asking a question. What are you asking? For real. Now, I let you do it the last few times. You just talking for a long time, not asking shit, asking 50 questions inside of one question without an ending. They open-ended questions. You're not really saying shit. And everything ending with the same shit about time. We even said the same thing, time, the whole thing. That's why I gave you a script before we started, gang. Because you haven't even went back. Your whole thing been time. You only can say that so long before it's like, let me get the fuck away from this shit. They're talking about the same shit over and over again. Everything you've been scripted on been on the same shit. Think this is it end with the exact same for real. And that's kind of like a waste of my time.
Well, I'm not trying to waste your time.
That's what you doing. So I mean, so you should be prepared, gang. Listen, if you're watching this in life, you gotta be prepared, right? A lot of times people say they prepared, and my plan was to get y'all like a better prepared show, right? A show where people can understand what I'm trying to do. But I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it happened for one reason, because a lot of times, again, you gotta do what you gotta do, no matter what you get handed, right? A lot of times, and you see, notice I told him this before we started the show, but everything was on the same thing. Like we was talking, he said, time, 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 time. Every question that came out of his mouth ended in time. When I simply gave him a direction for the show. Well, I guess you forgot the direction.
No, I didn't forget.
So why you still on the same pattern? You did forget, 'cause I see you reaching for your phone. You listen, one thing about me, I'm very aware. I'm so aware that I understood the moment I took your phone, you were stuck in that cycle, you're gonna keep on going the same way. And I just saw you reaching for your phone, and then saw you put it back in your pocket when I say you're reaching for your phone. Look, I'm very aware, gang. And I think that's wrong with life. People don't be aware. They let people tell them shit. But you ain't gotta wait for their mouth. All you gotta do is watch them, and you're gonna see everything about them. You know what they're thinking. And that's the beauty of your eyes. Like back to what he was asking. That's the beauty of your eyes, because if you use it correctly, you can watch everybody and know exactly what they will and what they won't do. Right? I see his micro expressions. You say something to somebody.
He said micro.
No, listen, I'm saying, so a lot of people know this. People got micro expressions. Did you know that if you tell somebody something good about you, before they smile, they frown? But you got to catch that frown. And
Damn.
everybody does it.
Damn.
Everybody does it. Before they smile, they frown, but the frown only lasts a millisecond. A lot of people can't see it, right? But that's the true version of you that a lot of people can't see. The other one they put on the mask.
Damn.
That's what I got. Just watch people. It's called a micro expression. Everything I say is true, gang. Nobody is really happy for you. They're not trained to be happy for you. The moment you tell, I'm keeping it real. The moment you tell somebody something for you, they're gonna smile. But the first thing they're gonna think like, damn, why I ain't got this? This is human reaction. So you can't tell me you ain't do it. The only way you don't do it if you train yourself not to do it. If you retrain what? Your nervous system. But who take time to retrain their nervous system? Nobody. So I know nobody's happy to see me win.
I'm happy to see you win.
Of course, you know why?
But
Because you got it already.
But so look. So back to like cause and effect, and like karma's real. This is real laws, right?
Right.
So I'm a Virgo. I believe that has an effect on me.
Right.
And I'm so judgmental. So I literally would go in the public and would compliment people. It had to be real though.
Right.
And do you know how fast that shit comes back to you?
Every time. Fast.
Man.
Fast.
If it's real though, don't do it if it's fake. Don't give nobody no fake compliment.
No, you so crazy, bro. Back to him. He's so crazy. He know he got to still going. And when he see us talking, that's when he could be going in his notes and saying what he got to say. But he gonna wait till the last minute to do it. But he don't know when he can do it. He don't know when to do what he got to do, right? See, people don't understand. You can't do it when it's time to do it. You got to do it before you do it. Like right now, he could be like checking to see what he need to say next. But people don't know how to do that. They don't know how to use their abilities.
So what the coldest thing you said though was everything goes like this.
That's true.
That's cold,
Nothing,
bro. That's cold.
Nothing goes in a straight line in time. So you can't say that time go from here to there. Everything move like this, but everything is connected to one source.
I never thought of it that way.
It's true.
I was prepared on talking about like the months being.
What is that source?
Hmm?
What is that source?
There's only one source that's always been here, right? And I'm glad you said that, right? And that source, and I was talking to Don, right? And he kind of like said some things that made a lot of sense, right? We was talking about the breath and what does the breath do? How do you count your life, right? We came to the conclusion that we understood that the breath, And listen, we ain't the first people that understood this. The Egyptians understood this, right? So it's all in the breath, right? But what was your question? I just want to talk about the breath.
That's it though.
What was your question?
No, I said, what was the source?
Your breath is the source. Listen, and I'm keeping it real. Your breath is the source. You say what you asking me. Your breath is the source. Your breath is the source of life.
Source, yeah.
Right? But the source, that breath source is the creator, that I call it Jesus consciousness. Right? Listen, consciousness was here before you was here. A lot of people don't know. Consciousness
Facts.
is in that body, but it's outside that body. Right? So your consciousness comes from outside your body. Consciousness been here before you got here.
So he was talking about like how like people talking about age and stuff. And I said, your life's not dependent on the days you live, it's dependent on the breaths you take.
Right.
And here in America, you're trained and programmed to be quick-winded in your words so short. Because in the beginning was the word and the word was God. Your word comes through your breath.
Right.
Directly tied to that.
And that's why I stopped you from breathing like that earlier. Because when you was breathing heavy and heavy and heavy, you were shortening your life. Right? I saw it. Because it makes sense. Because when you control your breathing, you control your heart, you control your blood pressure, you control your organs,
That's
right? You control everything from your breath. Right? Listen, your breath is what you should pay attention to. When the last time somebody paid attention to when they breathe? Nobody do. Nobody treat their breath like anything. Everybody just breathe and don't worry about they breathing until they gagging for air. Right? Nobody even worry about their breath until it's gone. Right? Listen, I'm just gonna say this, right? The breath is so important.
Yes.
It's more important than your mama. Right? I go, mama, listen, a lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people don't understand that how important this is to our consciousness and to everything else around. And don't address it as air. Address it as God.
Life source energy.
So many people just take it for granted.
Right? No, listen, it's like everybody take it for granted. Listen, when the last time anybody watching this said thank you to their red blood cells?
Mm,
When the last time, when everybody take their red blood cells for granted,
that's powerful.
right? But they the ones keeping you alive because they work even when you sleep. They always travel around your body. They never get no sleep. When the last time you said thanks to your red blood cells, nigga? I'm just keeping it real. Right? A lot of people don't understand this, right? A lot of people don't understand they don't give thanks. They give it thanks on Thanksgiving. When somebody tell them to, eating all this food and not giving thanks to their body. Come on, gang. The world up. I'm just trying to keep it real.
But can we agree though that words are tied to your breath?
We gotta agree on that.
So you've been in the music game.
Right.
So that's how powerful the words are, the air is, because the music can control your whole soul and make your body move.
Mm.
So that's how powerful the breath is. It can make your soul move. If your mom says your government name to you, don't you stand at attention? It makes your soul shake. You know, so I believe that's how the government uses us on the record. They say our name on the record. You know what I'm saying? To get us to summons our soul, so to speak.
Right.
You get a summons to court.
Right.
And it's all on the record.
Right. So welcome to X-Files, where we reveal the previously unrevealed, right? So when we started this, our journey, our quest was to try to figure out what is time. What is the meaning of time, right? Where did it come from, right? We discussed a lot, but in those topics, it's kind of like, what is the effects of this, right? Whether it's effects to your body, whether it's effects to your mind, or whether it got effect to your soul. Does it have any effects? Does it even matter, right? That is the bottom line question. Do any of this even matter? Do it even matter that it took a few months away, right? Do it even matter that we got 12 months instead of 13? Do it even matter that time is now in a straight line? Do any of this matter? And why?
I believe it matters because because when we're looking back in the Bible, God made 6 days and rested on the seventh. So what really is a day back then? What really is a month back then? What was the standard procedure of time. So if you're adding 13 months in a year, that means we're truly aging differently.
Well, what about people that at home got to work 8 hours a day, gang? Like, you got to make for the common folk. They got to work 8 hours a day. The kids at school, they come back home, they got no time. What do they do? Do you just walk away from time? Do you just walk away? So you know what? Fuck time. I'm walking away.
I'm-
Create your own time. What
That's
do you
really what I did. Like when I learned how to step out, because it's another box for your spirit. It's another box that you're in. Because you know the word hours comes from Horus. Same word, Horus, hour. So it has an effect on your mind's eye.
But and who was Horus? He's
Ho-
one. He wanted to what? What is it? What
It was one of the Egyptian gods.
Egyptian guy? So and one of the Egyptian guys, they any connected to the Anunnaki?
Possibly. You know, that's the all-seeing eye that you see on the dollar bill and stuff. That's Horus.
If what you said just made sense, they said they was taught time by the gods. So maybe you just really answered the question that we've been looking for, right? Maybe they did. Mayans had a calendar, right? Everybody had their own way of recording time. Chinese time right now, they New Year's is different between ours. They in different year than we're in, right? Everybody in the world is in different times.
Right.
How does this happen?
It's just the different families and different belief systems. You know, I believe if you go from the Bible that we was all one tribe starting off, when people start breaking up, they start seeing things differently. Maybe it's just their perspectives on how they view the cycles of the earth. Because that's what I have. Everything when it comes to time, it's a cycle of the earth.
Right.
And I believe once I transcended past time and quit thinking about it, then I was able to get in the creative realm.
Right. But well, if you're watching this, I'm gonna say this. I like to say that time don't exist, right? But if you watch this as your normal person, you gotta learn how to use time as your advantage because it's kind of like this. It's kind of like if it's here, you have to use it, right? A lot of times you don't have to do it exactly the way they do it. Like I don't recommend you celebrate rituals, but a lot of people do find, good being good spirits around Christmas times, holidays, and stuff like that. Is these things good for people to celebrate, or should they not just celebrate these things?
So when you look at it, we've done our study and research that it's usually like it's considered a pagan holiday or something like that, but it's different. Like Christmas is around the winter solstice, so it's just you're going off seasons again. So I celebrate every day. So every day is a new day. Every day is a rebirth. So I celebrate every day.
That makes sense. I'm gonna say this about celebrate religion. Listen, I'm gonna say if you do celebrate religion, each his own. Do what you do. But for me, I don't do it because I think like this. I think religion is a way, and holidays is a way for separation and control. I think they gotta find a way to control you and trying to find a way to separate you from you. A lot of people don't understand what I mean. I think that you should be setting your own time and setting you like how the fuck you gonna tell me what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of my life every day on December 25th.
Right.
You just straight told me for the rest of my life you made a plan for me for the rest of my. I don't like that. I don't like the decision being made by something other than me. There's got to be control because somebody's controlling me to do that. So if you're watching this, I just want you to look at that part, right? Because somebody told you to do it. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm just saying it should be your choice, right? Don't do things and you ain't made a choice to do it. That means you got a child, you should ask the child, do you want to celebrate Christmas, right? Do you want to celebrate Thanksgiving? Out of all these holidays, which ones do you want to celebrate? I guarantee you everybody will leave all of them, but everybody will keep Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Are you familiar with the Mercury retrograde?
The who?
Mercury retrograde.
What's that?
So it's like when it looks like Mercury's stagnant in the air, in the sky. It happens between like about 3 weeks, and this affects communication. You shouldn't sign contracts and things like that in the Mercury retrograde. Look it up. But between December 21st and December 24th, it looks like the sun is stagnant in the sky. And then on the 25th, it starts to rise again. And this is where Christmas comes from.
Yeah, where Christmas comes from, and also where the Son of God comes from. Right? We know this. A lot of people didn't understand that, but I'm glad you dropped that on them. Listen, if you're watching this, what he just said was just told you where they got the figure of Jesus from, the Son of God. Right? It all came from what? Watching the stars, watching the sun, watching everything. Right? But people interpret it different.
The three wise men's Orion's belt.
Yeah, everybody know this.
Yeah. Not everybody knows.
But there's still nothing wrong with a Christian believing in that because they actually believe in the same thing, but their way, because there's so many different ways to communicate this truth
Correct.
that is crazy, right? And I
Correct.
think people are fighting over this truth of kind of like me looking at this cup on this end and me saying it's a skull face, and you look at this end saying it's smooth, and we arguing about which one it is because we looking from it from different angles, but it's part of the same cup, right? So I think that all religions are part of the same whole, but everybody is separating and splitting it.
But just like we spoke about it when we was on our trip, about he said he's a Muslim, he don't partake in these holidays, and we said yes you do. If you celebrate Monday, you celebrate January.
Of course.
That's their religion, that's their system.
Of course, that's why my system do not coincide with the time or the months that they do. Mine coincide with me and what I do, right? I don't celebrate but me, like you said, and I like that. So everybody watching this, I think you just start celebrating you, right?
Yourself,
But any
yes.
more questions from the people?
Yes. So one of
You know they don't like when you all in the camera, all in the microphone. I'm gonna keep it real.
sorry.
You know they don't like that. You know they're kind of like annoying. You ever heard that like on CNN? They tell them to cough before they get on the camera. I'll just keep it real. Let's keep it real, gang. It's very unprofessional to cough.
I apologize.
Yeah, I don't like that. Not for real, man. Like this is a professional show. I just want to be great.
Amazing. That's some other question.
Now you made yourself answer the question for not being prepared. Come on, come on.
I need enough time.
Yeah, ain't no such thing as time. I'm gonna keep it real. Ain't no such thing as time. You should already be ready, but you're not ready. But you blaming me for you not being ready. That's kind of
I'm
petty.
not blaming you.
You said you to make me mess up. But if you mess up, I got in your mouth and told I just got in your mouth and tied your tongue up. Do that? No, but people always blaming people on the outside. I do nothing. You did it.
No, I did it.
Yeah. So why you say you? Why do people do that? That should be your question. Why do I blame everybody else for my? That should be your question. Because that's what everybody else do. Listen, I'm going to say this. If you're watching this, nobody ever did to you. Everything that ever happened to you, you did it. Because you made the decision to do whatever it is that you did. But people don't understand that. Everybody in the world went around blaming people. You can't blame nobody for shit. Listen, I'm going to keep it real. When was the last time you did something without making a decision to do it? Told me, oh, daddy, let me make you smile. I said, bitch, nobody never made me smile. Every time I smiled, it came from my mind. Yeah, my mind told my lips to move.
Right.
Stop playing on me. So I don't think people understand this, right? But listen, ask your questions, gang, so we can get through this. Because I want to get through this.
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask. Can I ask you a crazy question?
Yeah.
You think you could backspace yourself from the scene in your mind?
I think anything is possible through the mind.
Okay.
I think if we could speak it, it could be done.
Okay.
I think if we couldn't speak it, it couldn't be done. I think the only thing that can't be done is to describe the creator in words. That's the only thing that can't be
That's
done.
deep.
Everything else could be done with your words, but that can't be done.
So manifestation is real.
What you mean it's real? I mean, listen, that's like a question I've heard over 1,000,000 times when everybody knows it's real, because when the last time something that came in your world or you have said something before you thought about it? Tell me one time it happened. It never happened because it can't happen. Because in order for you to see it, you have to think about it. In order for you to see it, you have to believe it in your mind, right? So you run around manifesting all day. People don't understand that.
Facts.
Listen, I'm just keeping it real. Life is a manifestation.
Facts.
Right? I just know that for a fact. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think that it's getting done to them when they doing it to themselves. So I don't be giving a fuck about people.
So most people just get lazy in the mind. Is that
Huh?
It's because most people just get lazy in the mind.
Let me tell you this, right? A lot of people think that if I go right here and I do this, right, this got something to do with my leg strength, when it don't. It got nothing to do with my leg strength. It got something to do with my mind strength, right? Because listen, my mind is controlling my legs and telling it that it's tired and telling it that it's not. So if I got a strong mind, I can squat as many times as I want, because it ain't about my leg power. But that's where everybody getting confused. Everybody think that the power is coming from the biceps and the triceps, right? But it's coming from the mental.
Facts.
Why do people always try to run for easy answers?
Because listen, when the last time somebody turned down, a man turned down some easy, because it feel good. Listen, everybody want what feel good. When you kind of like take it the long way, it don't feel good. When you got to use your mind, it don't feel good. But the after effect, it feel good and it lasts longer. right? Everybody want love, but they end up getting lust, right? Because it's the only thing that's available, right? Because everybody that know how to love, they already with the person that love them, or they already realize that can't nobody love them, so they by themselves, right? So a lot of times when you really know how to love, you be by yourself, because you're the only person that know how to love. Because everywhere else you go, everybody's in love with the idea of love. Nobody really know how to love.
Facts.
I'm just keeping it real, gang.
That's facts.
So the problem is people are always just trying to look for the quick fix, and never want to put in the work.
Just
Or
say exactly. Just say you should have said like this. My problem is you just explained your problem. You just explained everybody's problem. That's the problem. Just your problem. That's my problem. That's his problem. We want the easy way out, but there's no easy way out this body, right? That's why we reincarnated a lot. That's why we had so many lives. We want the easy way out. We gotta keep on coming back because there's no easy way out.
Ain't no easy way out.
Right? There's no easy way out. We gotta take the long road. We gotta go from a mineral to a human, from a human to a bee, to another being, from the other being. We gotta travel through all of this, through all the layers. We gotta travel through all of that shit, right? And that's what we gotta do. And there's no way to do a shortcut. There's no way
At all.
for the ancestors to help you. A lot of people think my ancestors gonna come get me and they gonna come take me through this. No, you got to live this life. You got to suffer. You got to feel pain. You got to feel hurt, right? You got to feel all this to get out this level, right? A lot of people don't know. All they want to do is feel love. But again, how the would they know what love was if they never felt hate? They wouldn't appreciate love too much, would they?
So sometimes in life, pain has to come first before there's pleasure.
Not
Or
sometimes, all the time. Listen, every time, before anything that you do is gonna bring you some enjoyment, you'll get pain. Just like every time before the flowers grow, you're gonna get rain. It's all the same, right? Listen, people don't really understand the meaning of pain, right? It's like this, right? Pain doesn't hurt. It puts you on the right road. It's like a blockage by the creator that's telling you, hey, go that way, right? Because you can't continue to go this way. That's why I tell people all the time that time don't exist, not even in God's mind, because if it did, then heaven and hell would be true. So that means that, oh, you get this one time, and when you die for being bad, I'm gonna burn you forever. That a loving God? Well, if it is, so be it. But if not, doesn't it sound better to where, oh, you messed up? We're gonna reincarnate you and you try it over. Because if God is compassionate, if he is forgiving, then he's the God that'll give you another chance. And how can he give you another chance without another body? So if God is loving, I'm gonna ask you this, is it more likely that he'll do reincarnation or the hellfire? Which one you think is more likely from a loving God?
I think reincarnation.
Exactly. He give you another chance. But a lot of people won't look at it like that.
Pain is love, though.
Exactly. Pain is love, right? And God love you so much, he gonna give you another chance
Right.
to go through all this pain in this life. Because he's gonna use that pain to wake you up.
What I like to say is, like, in school, you get a bunch of lessons and you receive a test. In life, you get the test, then you receive a lesson.
Right.
That's what
A lot of people know this, but listen, it's kind of crazy because like I believe this one of them episodes where like people can get a better understanding of time. A lot of people don't understand about time. They don't understand because everybody think like now it's the New Year's, and now we at the top part of the show, right? What year after all of this do you think that it is?
I mean, it's now, man. I don't. If the Earth's billions of years old, who decided it's 2026?
Right,
And who decides what a billion years is?
right.
You know what always is always was. Like,
Mm,
there's a word called nunc pro tunc in the court system. That means I can put my paperwork on file like I filed it on time.
mm,
Nunc pro tunc, from the beginning of time to forevermore.
right.
You know, and I was taught that the new year was in spring. That's
Right.
what I was taught. That's the rebirth cycle right there in the springtime.
So New Year's could actually be April coming up.
Correct.
Right. That's what a lot of people think, right? So whether you celebrate New Year's in January or you celebrate in April, I just want to say this, that everybody come with New Year's resolutions and things like that. So no matter what you do, I think you should set your own beat in this life, right? I think people should come up with their own conclusions, their own thoughts, and their own ideas, and stop taking other men's ideas,
Facts.
right? Any more questions from the people, or the people out of questions?
People out of questions.
How do people run out of questions? How do people run out, you know what I'm saying? That's how you know you never prepared. People run out of questions. How long have we been doing this? How long has this been going on? How long have we been doing this? Do you know? Or you don't know, do you?
No, it's a
Oh my God.
Hey, can I add something though? Back in the King's day, when we had kings, a moment of time was come break fast with the king. You know, a breakfast was a breaking your fast. That was a point of time. You come do it
Right.
with the king.
Right. And that's why I love doing this show with the Divine Feminine. This show not made for the masculine. They don't be men not good with the flow when we're talking about like not men that ain't master, they masculine, they feminine. They still trying to perform. A lot of times when women do this, they're not trying to perform. I'm gonna give it real. They not trying to perform. They really got some answers they really want to know based on their common experiences. This when they use AI, no common experiences. Like I'm giving it real. Like and he got hella problems. Like he got hella problems. He asked about his health, hella things he asked about himself, but he want to keep it in. And that's what people do, right? People keep things in all the time, and that's what's actually hurt them. They don't know how to release, right? But the perfect way for them to release, not through me, there's another way you can release. But that's what people do. They tell somebody something, and then once you tell them something trying to release, it's gonna come right back to you, right back in that cycle. So let me release this information.
How do you release?
I release this information to you, so everybody watching this. It's a few ways to release. I like to release through grounding through the ground, right? I release it back to the soil of the earth, right? That's how I like to release. You can release through right here, right? What we reveal the previously unrevealed, right? A lot of people didn't know about time. A lot of people know it was 13 months and years before they watched this. A lot of people didn't know this. A lot of people didn't know that history kind of like been
Yeah, it's been altered.
It's been altered, right? But listen, if you want to know more about this, right? Because I know a lot of people like they probably wouldn't know. They're like, damn, man, y'all missed some spots, y'all hit some spots. You know, it's kind of like a little different, right? But if you want to know more about this, man, I'm gonna put a number here, right? And this is my first time doing this. I normally don't do this. I'm doing this because I'm gonna go and do this because like this is what he suggests. He suggests that a lot of people they need more information. It don't be enough information in all your videos, right? So we gotta find another way to get out of information. So there'll be a number here, and y'all can start a group, and of course, and it's gonna be a small fee, but the fee is only for its energy exchange, right? We look at money in the form of energy just to make sure that the information that we give you, you're gonna properly use, right? But it's gonna be good for the people, right? But the number be in the description. You send a text, we send you the link, you join the group, ask us all your questions, everything you need to know about time, and do what you gotta do, teach what you gotta teach, take it and make content, right? Understand it. A lot of people ain't watching this video. You can take what you learned today and create you a video.
That's it.
Right? But you want to know how to do this, you gotta hit us up, right? You gotta hit us up.
Tap in.
Right. So mama. Listen, welcome to X Files, where we reveal the previously unrevealed.
X Files.